So guys, welcome to StoomCast. Today I'm joined by a very, very good friend of mine from MMBJJ or Likens in Kilmarnock, big Simon Lynch. Simon is a brown belt under Marcos Nardini, a well-travelled martial artist, should I say, because obviously Simon's done quite a lot, obviously in his life in regards to martial arts, and not just jiu-jitsu. And as he's well travelled, travels all over the place. Obviously got a company, Crew Fightwear, which is obviously martial arts, shorts, rash guards, things like that. So yeah, Simon, listen, thanks for obviously taking the time out to speak to me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Sim. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, anytime.
Great to be on the show. It's great to be on the show.
So what we obviously you've heard the previous one, so obviously we're just going to have a chat about your journey. So in regards to, and again we spoke obviously before we come on here, just obviously about a few things. So for you then, your martial arts, when did it start? When did it begin for you?
Yeah, I mean, martial arts kind of is ingrained in my family. As I said to you before, my grandfather was a boxer. He was a British Empire champion back in the 50s. And he was a Ghanaian boxer, so he came over from West Africa. So my family have always been in that fighting world, the fighting environment. Loads of people have seen my grandfather's fights. They always come up to me and they're like, your grandfather was a contender, you know. But that aside, he always insisted that we all kind of tried a hand at boxing and everything else. So I think from the age of 4 or 5, I was in the gym boxing, hitting bags, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Tried my hand at taekwondo and karate and everything else. But throughout my years, I basically, as you said, I travelled and I found myself over in Australia. I basically moved out there when I was 21. And while I was out there, basically, I joined a gym which was like a really old school pancreation gym.
Yeah.
Run by a guy called Larry Papadopoulos. He was actually he's really well known in the kind of pancreation fighting world. His pals were like Bass Rutten and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's got a really famous fight with I think Ken Shamrock or something like that online. So it was his gym, and it was one of these little spitting sawdust things, and you would walk in there, and at any given time you could be training with like a 2-time world champion at this, or some Greek wrestling champion. And basically you just walked in, the door got changed, and Larry, it was like technique and then sparring.
Yeah. And
that kind of turned me on to the whole grappling world. But at the time it was more wrestling and kickboxing and punching and all that kind of stuff, and kind of really like light MMA stuff. And as I said, I enjoyed it, but because the grappling side of it, it just seemed like this massive chasm, and I was like, man, I'm going to have to spend a hell of a lot of time doing this and getting my arse handed to me.
Yeah.
And I think because of obviously my background in boxing, I've kind of really gravitated towards kickboxing and Muay Thai and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of moved into that. The upstairs part of that gym, there was a guy there called Peter Graham. I don't know if you've ever heard of Peter Graham, but basically he's Australia's kind of greatest K1 fighter.
Right.
He was a boy that he knocked out Badie Harry with a spinning heel kick and broke his jaw in 3 places.
Right.
The boy that was the Dutch guy, Moroccan guy that was the K1 champion at the time.
Yeah.
So he was basically my kickboxing coach. So him and then another guy that was there called Matt Spooner, who used to train all the Muay Thai fighters, and another woman there called Nadine Champion, who was actually my coach for my first fight.
Yeah.
Who's a black belt under Benny the Jet Arquides.
Right.
So he's an undefeated kickboxing champion. So just at the time, in this gym, there was just such a wealth of amazing people in martial arts, just kind of in this epicenter.
Yeah.
So I just kind of really concentrated on that, and there was amazing grapplers like down the stairs, but you just kind of walk past them and kind of see them in the gi and everything else, and you're just like, wow, it just seems like a totally different world.
Yeah.
And I just, like, the longer it went on, the further and further I gravitated. I pushed away from it, and I was like, you know what, BJJ is not really for me. I'm more of a striker. I like my kickboxing and my Muay Thai and everything else.
Yeah.
And it was a really well, it's a bit of a heartbreaking story, to be honest. I never seen myself in BJJ. That was like that pancreation piece and a bit of the wrestling was the last time I'd kind of really tried grappling, and that was maybe in my between 21 and 23.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't come back to BJJ until about 32 years of age.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time I was training for a fight with a good friend of mine who's now gone, a guy called Mark Fowler. Mm-hmm. And the two of us were supposed to be on the same fight card. My opponent pulled out, and Mark went ahead. He was fighting for a state title.
Yeah.
And basically, so I was like, listen, I'll drive you to the fight. Mm-hmm. Me and my wife, we'll drive you up there, watch the fight. And he was heading off the next day to meet his wife because he was from England, and he was flying back. And sadly, Mark sustained an injury in the ring where he lost consciousness, and unfortunately, 48 hours after he had his fight, he passed away. Mm-hmm. And we were in the hospital because this all happened. Me and my wife were effectively his next of kin because his wife was in England. And I just remember my wife turned to me while he was lying there in a vegetative state. We couldn't turn the machine off until a member of the family had flown over from the UK to kind of give them permission. Yeah. And my wife turned around to me and she went, if you ever do this again, she went, don't expect me to be around because you can't put me through that. Yeah. And literally the following week, I walked down to Gracie Mitre and I signed up, and I've never kickboxed again. Yeah, yeah. Now, I've maybe hit a bag a couple of times, but never kickboxed again after that. Yeah. But like my entire journey, I owe to Mark basically because I can't stress it enough. It didn't interest me at the time. Mm-hmm. But the moment I walked into a gym, I had about 3 or 4 classes, and Christ, I caught the bug. Yeah. I was literally, and it was one of these Gracie Mitre in Sydney at the time. It was run by a guy called Bruno Pano, mm-hmm. who he was a Brazilian from Rio, and they'd sent him over to Australia to basically get Gracie Mitre up and running in Australia. Mm-hmm. So they sent one of the best guys out there, which was Bruno, and Bruno was one of these guys who was like a four-strike black belt or something like that. Yeah. But he'd never competed, but he was like one of the most technically gifted athletes. And I trained with Royler when he came over because they were quite good friends. So Royler would come over every so often to train with them all. And the story Royler tells of him, he says, listen, of everybody that came out of our gym, when Bruno's the one that would have set the world alight if he had competed, if they just not interested him. But he was an amazing teacher. Yeah. But because of that, there was we had all these amazing people coming through the door. I think Nick Gregoradis, he was there for a period of time while he was in Australia. Yeah. There's another boy called Rodrigo Antunes. He's kind of really well known, but he's out in America now. But he was there for a bit. Yeah. Abmar Barbosa came over and trained us for a wee while. Yeah. And we also had what was his name? Ronaldo. I was at Ronaldo Candido, who was an Atos world champion. Yeah. Who came over. He came over when he was a purple belt, and he walked into the gym, and I swear to God, he's probably half the size of Shawnee, this wee tiny guy. Yeah. And he just battled everybody. and it was a real eye opener because there was some amazing guys in that gym, but this was like the first time I'd seen, one of those like really top guys that they compete everywhere, all over the world. Yeah. And they just train and train and train, and he was an ex-soldier from Brazil. Mm-hmm. He'd been in the Air Force or something like that. He'd come out and he just done jiu-jitsu professionally, and he'd just come off the back of winning gold at the World or something like that, and he came over to us for a bit in Australia, and like he walked in and he just hammered people to the point where some of the brown belts, some of the black belts scared to train him because like he would have that way sometimes when you hear people screaming tap tap tap
Yeah.
You know, and you know, the guys are wheeling away because he was just slick and amazing at everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was such a pleasure to train with those guys.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
The school over there was so different. It was like an entire floor in a warehouse, and they had on the bottom floor they had Muay Thai, and on the top floor it was like a competition mat. It was like, you know, they had about 6 competition squares in this place.
Yeah.
Plus the little rooms off for privates or 1-to-1s and stuff like that.
Right.
But there was maybe 300 or 400 people trained there, and you could only go on certain nights in the evening. But the gym was open from 9 o'clock in the morning till 10:30 at night,
right.
and they had classes on every day.
Yeah.
Starting from when the place opened, and it was drilling classes, competition classes, black belt sparring classes, fundamentals, beginners, advanced, all that kind of stuff, you know. And then they even got to the stage where there was kind of specific stuff, like they had one of the boys there was a judo, he was an Olympian with the judo, the Australian judo team. He would take judo classes and stuff.
Right.
So it was like walking into a supermarket for BJJ.
Yeah.
You could literally train every single day as long as you liked and become really good. So it was like I was there from white belt to kind of 2 years into my blue belt, and I was literally training 5 days. I didn't have kids then either, so I was like 5-6 days a week.
Yeah.
Like, I do a morning class, morning shift before I go to my work, and then come in the afternoon and hammer it. It was just such an amazing fundamental to my BJJ in general.
Yeah.
Because I just learned so much of so many different people.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. And as well, over there, everybody calls me Big Size here, you know. Over there, I was the wee guy.
Yeah, right.
Because like you've got all the big Aussies, but some of the big Tongans and the Samoans and the New Zealanders.
Yeah.
You know, I was the wee guy. You know, I used to get mauled.
And for anybody that doesn't know, Simon, you're about what, 6'5"? So
and 118 kilos.
Right, so you're a big guy, so obviously to have people bigger than you, because obviously in our gym, when we come in, you're the biggest guy in the gym. Do you know what I mean? Or one of the biggest guys in the gym. Do you know what I mean? So, so obviously to hear about you were the smallest guy, or one of the, not the biggest guys over there, just goes to show what kind of people are training in this gym over there. Do you know what I mean? So,
mate, it was frightening. Like, we had this one guy, and he came in and he looked, like, put it this way, right, if he walked in, you know, if he was around a couple of 100 years ago, they'd probably slaughter sheep and sacrifice virgins to this guy. He was an absolute specimen.
Right.
And, man, he was like half New Zealand, half something else.
Yeah.
But he was like 6'6", and he was like 130 odd kilos, but it was just muscle. I was just like, I've never seen a human being that big.
Yeah.
And he was a white belt, but he was really athletic because he played Australian rules football.
Yeah.
And naturally, I used to get paired with this monster every single time. And even just doing side control drills, like just getting into position, he's lying on me, and like, you know how all the vertebrae in the back pop. As if you'd had a right good correction at the chiropractors. That's him just lying on top of me. So Christ, I can only imagine how people must feel when I roll with them after experiencing stuff like that. Which is why I'm genuinely sensitive to a lot of these smaller guys that I don't want to roll with now. Yeah.
I mean, that's something that I notice as well. I mean, when coming in, and obviously seeing you rolling with people again, obviously, and again, it's the same for me. Although I'm smaller, I've got that weight as well. So I tend to, if I'm rolling with a smaller person, I'll not limit myself, but I won't kind of not put that much pressure on them that's going to make them feel uncomfortable. And I know you're very, very similar as well when you're rolling with certain people as well, that you know what your limits are. Do you know what I mean? Or not your limits, but you know how much to push with each individual person. Do you know what I mean? So, and so I said, that's a really, really good training partner. Do you know what I mean? So,
so I mean, I had that right from my kickboxing days. You know, they would we would have sparring days and stuff like that, and if none of the girls showed up to spar some of the female fighters, they'd put me in the ring and they'd be like, Jesus Christ, I'm deciding, man, he's sparring a woman. I was like, I've got self-control. You know what I mean? The amount of times I've seen people that, you know, they don't check their ego at the door.
Yeah.
And you know, something happens, or they get caught with a lucky punch, or, you know, a lucky submission or something like that, and then you know, all kind of rationale and reason just leaves the body and they become really angry. Yeah. So, like, I've always had that, man. I'll only ever go as hard as you go. Yeah. To a point, but we'll keep it spirited and everything else. So it's the same. It's the same in the gym as well. Yeah. But my biggest problem, I'm sure you're the same, is especially when I came over here. It's dead easy. Well, I'm not saying it's dead easy, but it's easier if you like to try and dominate people using your physicality and all that, and your weight and everything else. I don't think you learn as quickly if you can adopt that approach. Yeah. So I've always, and I suppose that's why my guard games kind of benefited a wee bit from it, because I'll always start on my back, or in a what's deemed an inferior position, because I prefer to get something out of training by working on all the stuff that normally big guys are crap at. Yeah. And I've always done that, and it's helped me immensely. But I never used to be like that. It's something I physically had to make myself do. Yeah. You know, because it's addictive, isn't it? Tapping people out. You're kind of like, I enjoyed that. I'm going to do that again. But after a while, you kind of go, you know, am I actually growing? Is my jiu-jitsu getting better because of it? Probably not. You know? Yeah.
No, that's always good to see. And I would say that I've mentioned this to, I think we and Damien were talking, and every time there's a Marcos has a grading day. Do you know what I mean? My thing is always to try and wind you up before it by sending you a message like, Simon, I'm coming to get it. I think we've done it a couple of times, do you know what I mean? And then I said to Damien, as soon as I go in, Simon's looking a bit for me, and I'm trying my hardest not to make eye contact with him, do you know what I mean? So, and then we have a roll. I get my ass kicked for 6 minutes, do you know what I mean? Which, again, and at the end of it, man, we're like, do you know what I mean? We're giving each other hugs and all that. So, and again, that's the jiu-jitsu. Do you know what I mean?
The first one you psyched me out, mate. I'm going to admit, like the first time, like I remember the first time you did that. I was like, you called me out, and I know I'm a road and everyone else. But I didn't know you that well. I was like, I'm not actually sure if he's serious. By the way, I was like, he's probably saying, well, I'm going to come for you and all that. I was like, I'm not upset him, surely. I'm not saying anything bad about him. And we walked in, and I think then you were a wee bit more confident. You're like, right, let's go, mate. And I was like, oh, fucking hell, here we go. And I think the two of us, I just kept to my guard, because I was like, I want to see what he does here. He might just end up killing me. And I think you were just sat there as well, and the two of us were just like holding on to each other, like, sweating and getting redder for like 6 minutes, and then the bell went. I was like, so I think the next time I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go for it.
No, listen, I enjoy that, do you know what I mean? I enjoy the good physical battles, do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, because I think the first time, I mean, you had me in your guard, and I was trying to pass the guard, and I was like, fucking these legs, man. Your legs were like a vice holding me in, and I couldn't move them. And then obviously the second time was, I think, at the judo club in Kilmarnock. I think that's about 3 times it's happened, so the second time was at the judo club, and I just got, as I said, I got my arse kicked, you know what I mean? So, and then we had one up at Glasgow as well, where it was pretty similar as well, do you know what I mean? Got an arse kicked as well.
You just come back though after a layoff.
But as I say, for me, I enjoy that, do you know what I mean? I enjoy coming in and getting good hard rolls. No, as you said, I mean, it's easier for a bigger guy to dominate an opponent just by laying on top of them or picking a smaller opponent and going for them. Whereas as I say, I enjoy rolling with like some bigger guys like say yourselves and Damien and so on, because it's more fun. Do you know what I mean? Even though you get an ass kicking, it's still more fun. Do you know what I mean? I enjoy that part of it. So
I mean that's the same with everything, isn't it? Yeah. I mean when I go in, I mean I'll try and train with all the white belts, because it does help me. It helps me try stuff that I wouldn't normally do on more experienced guys like yourself or gaming or whatnot. Yeah. But it's the same. It's always fascinating me how your game changes based on who you roll with. Yeah. Like I roll with Andy Callahan, right? And that's a petrifying experience in itself. But I'll go to his place and we usually roll every Friday. Yeah. And it's helped my jiu-jitsu immensely, because it's just one of these things. You just can't make the mistake.
Yeah.
Because obviously he's a black belt, but physically he's stronger than me. He's very mobile as well, and my jiu-jitsu just narrows right down. I'm like, right, really simple, tight guard, sweep, and try and get top position, and that's it basically. I'm not doing any fancy arm bars or inverted triangles and nothing like that.
Yeah.
Whereas if I train with other guys, maybe that aren't as experienced as Andy, I'll often go for that kind of stuff just to see if it works. Personally, but your jiu-jitsu is constantly evolving from that perspective, because you tighten up based on who you're fighting, I suppose. Definitely.
And then obviously Australia, training over there, what brought you to Scotland, and then when did you make the transition over to Marcos, and how did that come about?
Well, I had no intention of moving back to the UK from Australia. My life out there was pretty amazing, to be honest. But unfortunately, my wife, who's also Scottish, and she's actually from Troon, her father became quite ill when we were over visiting. So we came back to Scotland just for me to see my mum, who lives here, and my wife seeing her family. And while we were here at that time, our father was not well. And coincidentally, when I came up, because I always take a gi with me, no matter where I go in the world, right, I'll always pack my gi.
I know that,
If I get an hour to myself, I'm off away training with somebody. And coincidentally, I went to train in Glasgow when I came back the first time. And I went in there and I trained with them for a little bit. And who's the gent that runs it?
Oh, Ricky Gillen.
Ricky, he was really nice to me and all that kind of stuff, and he took the class and everything else for the first part of it, and then he left, and then it was a blue belt taking the class, and I was like, well, that's a bit strange. But we physically never got the opportunity to roll. It was just a kind of class and then going. It was completely different to the experience I have with Gracie Humaita over in Australia. So I kind of left everything else, and myself and my wife, we went home to Australia, sold everything up, and then we moved back here. And basically I was like, I've obviously tried Gracie Baja over in Glasgow. I need to try and find some other places, because I was like, it's all about BJJ is all about lineage, you know what I mean? I've got this lineage now and stuff, and I want to try and learn from an equally strong school with a good lineage, everything else. And I can remember sitting, I was sat at home in Australia, and I was literally just like, Brazilians that live in Scotland, Google. BJJ schools with a Brazilian coach, Google. And but I hit it was Marcos Nardini BJJ, and I think I watched the BJJ Scotland video on YouTube and all that. And I'm like, right, that's it. If we're moving back to Scotland, that's who I'm going to train with. So I think at the time we were moving back, we stopped in Singapore for like 2 or 3 weeks, just to kind of chill out and have a bit of a break before we moved back. And I remember emailing Marcos and saying, I blue belt, trained for 3 years under this guy. I'm coming back to the UK permanently. I'd like to come and train with you. Sure, no problem. So literally, I think we got back on a Sunday or something like that. And on the Monday morning, I was like, I'm going to go home and try one of these classes. Now, this is me thinking I'm just going to rock up to a class. So I've sent Marcos an email and stuff, and he's like, yeah, come along. He says, the gym opens at 5. I'm like, right, cool. So I rock up at 5 with my gear on, and there's no one there. And I'm like, okay, this is weird. And then Marcos appears. He's like, oh, hey bro, how you doing? I'm like, yeah, good. And then we start talking for jiu-jitsu for like 20 minutes. He's like, okay, let's roll. And I'm like, what? I'm going to roll, what, with you? He's like, yeah. Now, I'm just going to preface this. I've come off the back of like a month of living it up in Singapore and Australia, saying goodbye to all my friends. Maybe the odd class here and there. But prior to that, Gracie Humaita was one of these old school gyms where you weren't even allowed to wear a blue gi. If you didn't have your patches on you, it was 100 press ups before you started the class. If you were a minute late, you had to sit in the side until you were invited onto the mat.
Yeah.
You couldn't ask a higher belt to roll, they had to ask you. You know, all the old
school jiu-jitsu stuff.
Yeah, Brazilian jiu-jitsu rules that you had in the gym. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd never rolled with a black belt before. I'd rolled with a purple belt. I'd rolled with a brown belt because they'd asked me, and I'd been in the advanced class, and they'd let me roll with them.
Yeah.
And it was like eye-opening, but I was like, oh my god! It was like I was totally starstruck.
Yeah.
And and I was like, the class doesn't start till 6:30. I'm going to have to roll with this guy for an hour.
Yeah.
And you know that one, it's just like the physicality came in there. I was like, I just have to stop him from submitting me.
Yeah.
And I think I lasted like a minute and a half.
Yeah.
And I pride myself, and I don't get tapped an awful lot.
Yeah.
Right? Marcus has probably tapped me in that one class more than I've ever been tapped out in my entire jiu-jitsu career.
Yeah.
And I'm talking, I've literally been doing jiu-jitsu now for near enough 8 years.
Yeah.
And on that one Monday afternoon, he had me saying uncle about 20 odd times. Just the range of things he caught me with as well. I was just, oh my god. But that sold it for me. I was like, this guy's legit.
Yeah.
He's amazing. I need to train him. And I've been there ever since. He's been an amazing coach.
Yeah.
He's an amazing coach. You know?
Yeah, he's good that way. I mean, anybody new that comes into the class, not if they're, if they come from another school, blue belt, purple, whatever belt they are, he always does that. He always you're his first role all the time. Just so he can get a gauge of where you are at a level. And again, I've spoke to him about this, and he says, it's just to find out where you are at a level, so I know what I need to do to get you to the next level. Do you know what I mean? So, and it's good. I mean, and he can do that. And the funny thing with Marcos, I mean, you'll know this better than anybody. Marcos always, like, maybe if you're standing about and he's there, he'll look and there'll be like maybe 3 minutes left on the clock, and then he'll be like, come on, let's roll. And you think, right, okay, I've got 3 minutes. And then when the 3 minutes finishes, he's like, no, keep rolling. And then you have to then roll through the break and then another full round.
yeah, exactly, yeah. It's like everybody lined up at the school disco afraid to ask the girls to dance, kind of thing.
Yeah. So no, I like that he does that. I do like that he does that. That he gets a gauge of you, and he can. And again, the guys that have trained under him over the years, I've been absolutely. I mean, a lot of success coming out of whether it be competitions or obviously going through the belts, having like all the black belts that have come through under him as well. So. And the guys have went on and done their own thing and stuff like that. So it's been very, very successful over, again, I think he's been doing it in Scotland now for, what did he say, about 11 years, 12 years. So it's there, and it's eye-opening. I mean, it's the only Brazilian in Scotland actually training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So... I mean, you obviously figured that out straight away when you were in Australia Googling to find out Brazilians in Scotland doing jiu-jitsu. So
I must admit, you get some quite colourful answers when you type in Brazilians in Scotland. It's not what I first thought.
I can imagine.
I was on the work laptop as well. Trying to delete all my cookies. I was like, I'm going to get
fired. Simon, why are you looking at Brazilians in Scotland?
I know. Oh, jiu-jitsu, yeah, sure it is, bro. Sure it is, mate.
And then, obviously for you, I'm saying you come over as a blue belt under Marcus. Or started training with Marcus, obviously went through your, to your purple belt, and then I seen you when you got your brown belt, which was, again, a fantastic day. I mean, everybody kind of knew it was coming. I don't know if you knew it was coming.
No, it was, I have to say, like, my journey through purple belt was the most frustrating. It was like the best and the most frustrating thing I've ever experienced. Yeah. And like what you said there about not knowing it was coming, I even forgot to thank everybody. As I got my belt and kind of walked off, and then everybody's like, "You're not going to say thanks." I'm like, "Oh, Jesus." It's just because it totally, I built this thing up in my head. You know, like I think I'm ready for it, and then obviously I don't get my belt, and then I'm not ready for it. Yeah. And then I went through all sorts of emotions going through my purple belt, and even people like Damien and all that had to give me a right good talking to at some stages in my purple belt, where I just kind of lost the head with it, and I was upset, and I was like, too hard. It's it's one of those things that once I got that belt, man, it was just it was the most amazing feeling. I can only imagine it must be. Well, it's like that in any belt, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
It was just the best feeling ever. But it was just the purple belt for me was the hardest belt I reckon I've ever had, because it's you're still finding yourself a lot of the time in BJJ and your style and everything else. And you know, some people get it quicker than others. And, you know, like what Jack's done and stuff like that with his leg lock game and things. You know, you get people that they get to that level and some of them just start sprinting, and others are still kind of jogging there because you're just ironing out, polishing certain parts of your jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And it is frustrating because it's not linear. It's not everybody will develop at the same rate when they're at that purple belt, and it's frustrating to see people just sprint ahead of when you kind of thought, oh, I'm close to that guy, and then you just, you know, people just develop and they leave you.
Yeah.
And so it's frustrating, but I have to say, when you sit back now with your big boy pants on, and you're like, you know, I've done that. You know, it's something you're proud of.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenal belt too.
Do you think that was? See, you're obviously talking about frustration now. Obviously, everybody gets. Do you know what I mean? They hit the wall. Every belt, I'm sure. Obviously, you hit the wall at white belt, thinking, well, none of these moves are clicking. Then you get to blue belt, and that's where you're starting to try and develop your game, the game that you're going to have going through all the other belts, and you hit that wall as well. So, do you think for you it was because you were older? Because obviously by this time you said, what were you now? You were in your 30s at this point?
Yeah, early to mid 30s.
So do you think it was maybe because you were obviously in your 30s, obviously seeing maybe younger guys that were coming through, obviously learning a bit quicker just because again they're younger, or what did you feel was your the reason you were hitting the wall?
Yeah, I mean, like, you know how you got all these kind of sayings about people that get to blue belt, you know, 60% of them will quit and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I genuinely never had that.
Yeah.
But the way that I kind of progressed from white belt to blue belt was different because it was obviously over in Australia. Now the white belt curriculum over there is essentially you don't get to roll with the advanced class until you get to blue belt. Right. Okay. They've obviously got such a big and diverse pool of white belts there that start off. There's enough there to sustain a curriculum of beginners classes. Yeah. So even though you're developing and learning, you're not kind of faced with it overwhelming when you kind of bump into a purple belt and you roll with them, and it's like you don't know anything. You don't get that frustration from that because you're not exposed to that. Yeah. So granted, there's a disparity between the white and the blue belt because it's like taking a wee fish, a big fish out of a small pond and whacking them into the advanced class with blue belt up to black. That's when you go, oh my god. But at that stage, I was already like, right, I know I'm alright, I'm an alright white belt, but I know these guys are totally different league to me. But that just kind of spurred me on a wee bit. Yeah. But I think, because I experienced this a lot in my job in terms of the different stages of learning, you know, and like somewhere between blue and purple, you become this disillusioned learner. I think is the term they call it, where you know enough to be competent. You're unconsciously incompetent, I think is what they say. Where you know enough to know, I kind of know jiu-jitsu, and I think most blue belts have a rounded enough game to understand jiu-jitsu, but it's that piece where you're like, I still can't put it all together. Into something like really meaningful, and that never happened to me until I was well into my purple belt. Because even as a blue belt, because I was coming over from Australia, I think Marcos kind of had to hold me back a little bit. Yeah. Because my gym didn't believe in stripes, I never got any. So I came over there just the blue belt, and obviously Marcos rolled, handed me my ass and stuff. But I could see what he was doing because the first grading day, he was like, Simon, come here. And he's like, right, put me in with Big Paul Craig. Took me out of there. And then he's like, right, come here, roll with Andy Callahan. Yeah. Go and roll with Jock. And then here, go and roll with you. Yeah. And at that time, Sean Taylor, he's like, yeah, roll with Sean Taylor as well. And this all happened within like 3 or 4 weeks of me coming to class. Right. And I think then it was just genuinely trying to see how I fared up against other, because I think Paul was a blue belt at that stage as well. So
yeah,
how I kind of paired up against guys my size or people that were more experienced and stuff like that.
yeah,
And to be honest, I kind of held my own because I was used to that kind of level of competition, you know,
yeah,
that physicality and that skill set. But I think the frustration for me came from my own perspective. It was just, you know, have I focused too much on my guard and I'm not good at passing anymore. It's hard because like when you go through this thing, there's only so much learning you can do, but then you need to kind of reflect a little bit on yourself in terms of. I see guys that write their jiu-jitsu stuff down in notebooks and stuff like that, and mind map and all that kind of stuff. And I suppose that's great if it helps you, but like for me it doesn't. It kind of comes together inside my head. But I think a lot of the time you miss the opportunity to kind of reflect on what our jiu-jitsu says about what we've learned, you know.
Yeah.
And how am I going to develop that? I mean, I don't walk into the gym and say, right, today I'm going to develop my passing or my attack on turtle. It just kind of sometimes happens. Sometimes it doesn't, and you get those wee moments, those aha moments. But you get people that systematically, like Ryan, here's your grapple, he's a great example of that.
Yeah.
He just breaks everything down to the point where he like understands every single little cog in a move and how you can deviate this way and that way. And he seems to be quite analytical and learn that way, and that's brilliant. And as a result, he's advanced like massively.
Yeah.
And he's amazing for it. Whereas I'm more of a kind of, it needs to flow in my head and feel right and comfortable. And I suppose that's kind of hindered my development. And I suppose that's where my frustration came from. But that never happened until way into my purple belt.
Yeah.
But I suppose it happens to everybody, I suppose.
Obviously, you guys, you and your wife is Kelly, yeah. So
yeah, yeah.
Obviously, you guys have got the fighting brand Crew.
Yeah.
So obviously, to tell us a bit about that, how can people kind of find obviously your website, Facebook page, and things like that?
Yeah, so we've got Crew, which originated as a Muay Thai brand. Crew basically means teacher, and it kind of developed around kind of limited edition martial arts clothing. Yeah. So it's like streetwear inspired, and then martial arts inspired clothing. So we've got like rash guards, shorts, t-shirts, hoodies, all that kind of stuff. We're coming out with spats and all that kind of stuff at a later date. But it's all kind of small batch, high quality, kind of specific stuff. Like some of the shorts are designed by like graffiti artists and tattoo artists and all that kind of stuff. So it's not like a mass produced brand like some of the big ones like Fairtex and things like that. It was always meant to be kind of more bespoke, you know, kind of cool, if you like.
And I had a look at obviously the website. I mean, and you're doing stuff with Mirkatsu as well. We've got a Mirkatsu rash guard, and we've got some spats coming too. All that stuff's available. The website is www.khrU.com, and it's on Facebook as well. There's a lot of good stuff. I mean, I'd say when I had a look through, obviously you've got some nice shorts. I mean, they're saying you've got the shorts, the rash guards, obviously other accessories and things like, as you mentioned, hoodies and stuff like that. So and they all look nice. They all look really, really nice. As you said, obviously a bit different from the usual ones, like say your scrambles, your tatamis and stuff like that. So well, my wife's a bit of a stickler for detail, and she was the one like in terms of going around Thailand and stuff like that. I'm talking like we would go to every single factory, trying to get the right cotton and the right supplier for this. And my wife's kind of really driven that way. And she was like, it's got to be bamboo cotton because it's hypoallergenic and it does this and it does that. So like the attention to detail in it. Like I gave Marcos a t-shirt, and he's like, man, this is my favourite t-shirt. He says it's so comfortable. It's just like the little things like that. That's what it's made you about. It's just good quality kind of bespoke and stuff that's really cool. So that's kind of what it was. So there's a lot of thought going in to obviously with Kelly. Obviously a lot of thoughts going in, certainly from her side of things, in regards to what she wants. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's good.
She's super creative, man. I'm not creative in that sense. She is super creative. So
yeah.
kind of driving force behind that.
Certainly. And then for you, now I always ask this question. I always put people. Again, it's a hard question for a lot of people to answer, but taking out any kind of martial arts, take that out of your life, what would you be doing if it wasn't for martial arts, whether it be the boxing, kickboxing, or even jiu-jitsu?
If I couldn't do any of those?
Yeah, if you didn't do any of them, what would we see you be doing? What would you be doing?
I'd probably be a chef, mate.
Right.
I'd probably be chefing.
Right.
I'd be on some game show trying to be a chef. I'm well into my cooking.
Yeah.
Like right back in the beginning, my mum and dad are publicans,
Mm-hmm.
right? So like you probably know the pub my mum and dad have got, Jenny McGinty's.
Yeah.
So like I've always been brought up in that background, but rather than working behind a bar, I was always interested in cooking and stuff. So
Yeah.
I kind of went and I worked in restaurants while I was going to university as opposed to working in pubs. So I've always had that fascination, but just with how much I've travelled in terms of my time in Australia, and obviously I spent a lot of time in Southeast Asia as well. Obviously part of that was with crew, but other parts of it was just going around and travelling and also training.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, I got to sample all the kind of local cultures, and I'd always take cooking courses while I was out there. I'd get the wee hawker at the street in Thailand. I was like, show me how to make pad thai, or show me how to make morning glory and stuff like that. I didn't watch and take videos and stuff. So I've always been into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I suppose if I didn't have a passion for martial arts, it'd be culinary arts. I suppose would be where I would probably veer off to. And I'd probably be twice the size of what I am now as well. It's a scary thought.
And then for you guys, obviously, Emma BJJ and Kilmarnock's now Likens martial arts, I believe.
Yeah, that's the one.
And obviously you as well as a few of the other guys that are there. What was it, Jack Brown and is it Hugh McCartney? Are obviously taking a kind of big role in regards to the running of the gym now. Obviously along with Marcos as well. So how did that come about for you?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the gym's always been a big. It's been a big part of Ayrshire in terms of the community and also the development of BJJ in that area. And it's a really important kind of place for a lot of people, not just myself and you and Jack and stuff like that. And obviously Marcos splitting his time between a whole bunch of different projects that he had on the go. I think it was just all becoming a bit much. Yeah. So he kind of asked some of the senior members to step up to the plate, and then rather than let our gym die, kind of so to speak. I think it was really good that there's a core bunch of us that are all invested in keeping Likens open and keeping it fresh and having good quality coaching and a place for everybody to come and train. Because I mean, when you look at how well all the guys from that gym have done in competition and repping BJJ for Scotland, you know what I mean? It'd be criminal if they didn't have a place to come and train themselves. And we had to kind of disperse into other clubs. So a few of us have stuck our hands up. We're passionate about keeping it open and making it the best place it can be. And I think genuinely the club is growing, because now it's just not one individual's priority. There's several priorities, and we've got loads of cool stuff happening now. You've got like skill development days with Henry, where they get like a Danny or video and they project it up, and then they break the techniques down, and then they drill them and stuff. You've got Shawnee with all his his no-gi experience, and David Sharp as well, who's literally a woman encyclopedia Britannica when it comes to BJJ. I mean, the guy literally knows every deviation of every person's system. He's a freak. But he's also an amazing BJJ practitioner. He's one of the guys that you don't look at the colour of his belt, you just go, that's Sharpie. Calm. You know what I mean? But and even guys like Hugh as well and Jock are all coming into the club and teaching as well. So and Marcus still plays a role too. So it's I think we benefited massively because of the change, because now you've got lots of these people coming in and sharing their experiences and playing a bigger part in the club. So it's become an amazing place to train, to be honest. And everybody I tell them, like, you know, get yourself down there, come and train. It's one of these gyms where, you know, the doors are open to everyone. I mean, we've got an open mat coming up in a few weeks, and I'd encourage everybody to come down and check the place out. Cause
next Sunday, I believe. Next Sunday.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a great club, and as we said, there's loads of great guys there that are really good rules. So.
I mean, the open mat as well, guys. Next Sunday, obviously at the gym in Kilmarnock, the parking, there's parking inside where the building is. There's obviously parking outside, so it's free of charge to park right next to the gym. The gym itself's obviously got a good sized mat space, so it can accommodate quite a few people on that mat. So what time does the open mat start at?
That's a good question, my friend. Let me I don't know. Here's me repping it, and I'm like,
no, I think I'm sure it's about 1, if I remember rightly. I'm positive when I was speaking to Shawnee on Saturday, he was talking about it and saying, look, you're coming down. I said, yeah, definitely, I'll be there. But obviously now I know that you're not going to be there. I can't send you any I'm coming to get you messages.
I know. I might hobble on and arm wrestle you if you want me.
But again, with the Lycans, I mean, Lycans are on Facebook. So Lycans spelled Lycans.
Lycans Martial Arts.
And then you can go on there. And if you're either in the area, you're thinking about taking up jiu-jitsu, or you're just passing on your travels, then certainly hit the guys up at Lycans. I mean, they've got, as Simon was saying, they've got kind of all belt levels from white right through to several black belts, that come through. I mean, I know John Nicholson came through the other day as well. So
I mean, we even get guys like Tiago that comes up from Derek and stuff like that as well, you know. Like really, really good seasoned competitors. They come up and they train with all our guys just to mix up their training, you know, because as you say, there's so many varied roles and really good guys as well, you know. It's a great place to come and just, you know, learn it all out.
So if you're ever in the area, anybody in the Kilmarnock, even Ayrshire area, I mean, just hit up the guys at Lycans. As I say, the door's always open. The door's always open when people are there. Which in Davy Sharp's case, I don't think he's ever out the gym. So
I think the boy lives in the gym.
The boy, I mean, he just goes home to sleep and then comes back to the gym the next day. But yeah, the guys, even if you're passing by and the gym's not open, there's always someone there that'll come in and train. Which is one thing I noticed about Kilmarnock. I mean, you can send a message. I've seen guys in there at like 11 o'clock at night training. As you mentioned, Henry Brennan and Davey doing the John Danaher stuff after the boxing class, and they're into it.
We've got like guys that do like they work on rigs and stuff like that, and do shifts. Like Hugh does night shifts and stuff like that. So it's one of these places. If you like the page and you're on the Lycans members. Guys will say, listen, I fancy training, who's up for it? We're going to work some techniques, or we're going to just have an open mat. And it could be like 9 o'clock at night, where there'll be like 7 or 8 guys with that suits. You know, they're coming off shifts, they're doing this. So the place is literally open, and it's for the members, which I think they'll appreciate, which is why it's flexible as well. So you're right, you can train whenever you want. Yeah, so
anybody that's there, regardless of time, day or night, I mean, just as I say, these guys, so there's always going to be someone that will come in and train with you. So but Simon, listen, thank you very much for obviously taking the time to speak to me. I know that you've obviously had an eventful weekend, obviously, with the kids for Easter. I see you were out on the bike. Yesterday, was it yesterday you were cycling to, or was it the day before you were cycling to Irvine, I believe?
Yeah. My little kid, like, honestly, his grandfather taught him how to ride a bike last week. And he was like, Dad, can I have a McDonald's? I was like, I don't condone eating that kind of rubbish, but if you can cycle to Irvine, I'll buy you one. By Christ, the wee man cycled there and back, didn't he? 12 and a half on a mile on that cycle route. He's 5 years old, and he's been on a bike. He's only been going a bike like a week and a half. He absolutely nailed it.
cycle from, and again that was from Troon to Irvine and back.
And back.
So
yeah.
Fair play to the wee man.
So, I know. As soon as I can get him into BJJ, the better.
Definitely. Well, listen, as I said, Simon, thanks again for taking the time.
Yeah, no worries, mate.
Listen, I will see you at some point. If I don't see you next Sunday, as I said, I'll definitely see you back in the mats at some point soon, hopefully.
Yeah. God willing, mate. I'll see you very, very soon. Once my knee gets better. Don't you worry.
Brilliant. Well, thanks again, mate. You enjoy the rest of your weekday, okay?
Okay, pal. Have a nice Easter.
You too. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
So, guys, that was a good friend of mine, Simon Lynch. Simon's a brown belt under Marcos Nardini. I got his brown belt again last year, the tail end of last year at the grading day. So, which again was I'd say I was fortunate enough to be there and see him getting it. As I said, we were kind of laughing there. I mean, he was quite. I don't think he was expecting it. So when he got the brown belt, obviously he was over the moon. As you heard him saying there, his purple belt journey was the most frustrating part of his jiu-jitsu. So for him to get his brown belt, and I mean anybody that's rolled with Simon, I mean Simon's a good, solid, tough roll. Do you know what I mean? Very technical guy, and again because he's big, that doesn't stop him from pulling off different, very technical moves. I'd say the few times that I've rolled with him, I'd say it's been an absolute pleasure to roll with him. Even though I'm getting my ass kicked, as I said, it's always still a pleasure rolling with him. So, and as I said, I'm fortunate. I mean, I can pretty much go and roll with Simon at any time, speak to Simon. So it's good to have somebody like Simon with the experience that he's got from travelling all over the world to be a part of Scottish Jiu-Jitsu and making it better for obviously the next generation and possibly generations on coming through. So absolute pleasure, Simon. So thank you again for taking the time to speak to me. So next, we've obviously got a few people lined up that we're going to have on. So again, obviously just trying to get the scheduling sorted out, trying to find out when we can get these people, when they're going to be available and so on. So we'll definitely have an episode coming up within the next kind of few days. So again, I'll keep you all posted. But listen, thanks very much for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.